Welcome back to my lesson 3 on my React crash course, and in this video I'm going to be going over basic attributes, so how we can add classes and IDs which will allow us to select them in our CSS class, and then the very basics of the styles attribute. And so before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe so that you don't miss upcoming React lessons, comment down below if you're going to have any questions during the video, and now let's get started. And now we know the basics of how we can inject HTML through React. Let's go ahead and go over classes, IDs, styles, and things like that. So the first thing that you're going to want to do to add a class is obviously find the element where you want to add the class. So let's go ahead to our video list, go to the div where all of our videos are going to be, and let's add a class of video list so that we can style it later on. So in HTML, to add a class, so let's go here. All that you would need to do is find the element and then write class, and then here you would write the class. But the difference in React is that you would have to write class name instead of class. So here you can see that if I write class, it's going to say class name as a suggestion. And then here you would write the name of the class. So in my case, it's going to be video list. And now let's take a look in console here to make sure that we have no errors. And we can see that we have none. And I'm going to actually go into the div here, and we can see that we do have a class of video list, and it says class here. But what if I change this just to class like this? We can see that it's still going to have a class of video list, but if we go to the console, we're going to get an error. So we can see that it says invalid DOM property class, did you mean class name? So we can see that it does have to be class name. And for IDs, it's going to be the same thing. So if I write ID in here, and then let's just do the same thing. So video list, no errors. And if we go to our elements, and we can see that it works, so that's fine. I'm going to keep it at class video list, and then we're going to go back to our video. I'm going to do the same thing here. So class name, and then this is going to be video. And then when we save, we can see that each video is going to have a class of video, and then our container of all of our videos is going to have a class of video list. And so let's say that we wanted to add styles attribute to our element. So in HTML, all that we'd have to do is write style, and then let's say change the color here to blue. We can see that now the color changed to blue. But in React, it's going to be a bit different because let's go to our video. And if I write styles in here, we can see that it's going to add the curly brackets automatically. And that's because when we use curly brackets in React and JavaScript, what they're going to do is it's going to let us bring JavaScript logic and variables to wherever we add the curly brackets to. So let's say in here, I'm going to go and make a variable, let's say color, right? Now color is going to be equal to color, and then, or actually, this is going to be styles. And then in styles, we're going to set color to blue, and then blue has to be text. What we could do is actually we could put styles in here, and then we can see that now the text is going to change to blue. And we can keep adding different things. So let's say that we wanted to change the background maybe to something. So we could write background, and then let's actually set that to something dark. We can see that now it's going to change to dark. And so let's actually also change the color. So let's do let's change it to white, and there it is. So that's one way to do it. And if you actually wanted to write the styles in here instead of making a variable, what you would have to do is you would have to actually add another set of curly brackets, just like we did in the object, and then in here you'd have to write the styles. So let's go back to blue, and now we can see that it's going to change the text to blue. And there's a lot of ways in which we can do this kind of stuff. So let's say if we set color to equal to red, and then we pass it here, so color, we can see that now the text is going to be red. And so that's another way to do it. And I'm not really going to go too much in depth because it's not really the best practice to use style in React like this, because we have a CSS file, which we haven't actually created yet. So let's go ahead and do that. So go to your source, and then we're going to name this index.css. So we know that this CSS file is going to be related to the index.js. And we actually need to import the CSS file in here, because if we go in our CSS file, and let's go ahead and actually select something. So let's select the video list. We're going to use the class video list. Let's set the color to white, so we shouldn't see the text here. We can see that it doesn't work because we have to import it. So to do that, we're going to write import, and then index.css, and that didn't work, so let's do that, index.css, and now we can see that the text changed to white, which means that it works. So I'm going to go ahead and actually delete this for now. And what we need is we need to change the text here, and we're going to add some styles. So if we go to YouTube, we can see that we have an image, and then we have the title, we have the name of the channel, and then views, and then the amount of days that passed since the video has been uploaded. So let's go ahead and actually make a container, which is going to be a container for the text. And I'm going to name it video content. And in here, we're going to put the title. And then the paragraph is going to be the channel name. So I'm going to change that to channel name. And then under that, we're going to have a span, which is going to have the number of views. So let's do views. And then we're going to need to use the dot. So one way to copy it is by going to inspect and then selecting the dot, which should be a before, as we can see over here. Let's open this, and there it is. So you can copy the content and then put this after views. And then let's write 0 days ago. And then later on, we're going to be able to set every single one of these elements to something different, which is probably going to be the next video, so make sure that you check that out. And so now that we have this done, we need to add the picture of the YouTube channel. So I'm just going to go ahead and write image, and just for now I'm going to use this image, and then we're going to be changing that later on too. So let's go ahead and press on copy image address, and then I'm going to put it in here. And if I save now, we can see that we have the thumbnail, the picture of the YouTube channel, title, channel name, and then the views and then days. And now let's actually go ahead and style this and make it look a lot nicer. And so there's one more class that we need to add, and it's going to be the thumbnail class. So I'm going to go to the thumbnail image and add a class name of thumbnail. I actually already made some styles, so I'm going to go ahead and copy them, and I'm not going to go over them because this is not going to be a CSS crash course, so I'm just going to go ahead and paste it. And if you want these styles, then you can go ahead and go to the description down below, find the GitHub repository, click on the third lesson, and then you're going to see this whole project that I made here, and then you can go ahead and copy the CSS file. And now we can see that we're going to have the videos, and it's not going to look the exact same as YouTube, because I don't want to spend too much time on CSS because it doesn't really matter right now. And so in the next lesson, I'm going to teach you how we can manipulate every single element here. So every single video is going to have a different thumbnail, title, channel name, views, and then the day since it's been uploaded. And we can see that it's pretty responsive, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, so this is going to be for this video, so I really hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, then make sure to leave a like, subscribe so that you don't miss upcoming React lessons, comment down below if you have any questions, and hopefully see you in the next video.